Hello guys and welcome back, and in this video we are going to discuss what is FLoC. What is FLoC, of course, how it works and the future of advertising using FLoC. Well, if you're new to FLoC and if you don't know and if you don't have any idea about this new technology which is about to come, well, in that case this video is for you. So let's start with a very basic question. What is FLoC? Now, we are not going to actually jump into this question because we want to keep it very simple for you guys to understand, because this is fairly a new technology. Well, let's try to dig deeper into, first of all, the full form of this whole new word, if I may. Federated Learning of Cohort. Now, what does it mean? How it works? We are going to learn in the later part of this video, but right now, for the sake of understanding, the full form of this word is Federated Learning of Cohorts. Now, first of all, let's try to understand, before understanding what is the future of advertising, let's try to understand what is the exact right now how advertising used to work, or maybe previously how advertising used to work over the web. Previously advertising used to be, or marketing used to be, like targeted. You can see there are a group of pins, if I may. Now there is a red pin. Now we are going to focus on red pin because that is our potential customer. So whatever advertisement we have, if that particular pin is our target audience, or that is the potential customer, that individual pin I'm talking about, I'm not talking about this whole group of people. If that individual person is our customer, we are going to show him the potential things which he is about to buy or he is planning to buy. Example, do you remember when you were booking flights for a certain journey towards its destination, and after that, for subsequent days, you used to see advertisements which were related to, you can book a flight from this destination to this destination. This is the cheapest website, from different websites. Of course, from the website with which you were actually booking that ticket, but yes, of course, the other similar websites also. Now the biggest question is, what was the problem with that? Well, the problem was it was invading privacy. People were getting scared. They were scared because individually they were being targeted, and they were actually getting worried what kind of a data is being harvested by their online behavior. What was the outcome? Well, the outcome was companies stopped websites from using third-party cookies. Well, companies like Apple, company like Mozilla, they stopped their browser from tracking and saving the data of third-party cookies when a user visits a particular website. So what is the future in that? Well, the future is privacy first web, which was actually coined by Google because they realized it's time for them to actually fight for the privacy of user instead of invading that, because one way or the other, you can understand the giant advertising companies are the reason of this whole privacy first web. Now, Google has introduced FLoC. What is a FLoC? Well, FLoC is a new way with which advertisers can still serve their target audience without pinpointing an individual user. As you can see, it simply means that it is going to pinpoint, it is going to sort of serve the advertisement to a group of people instead of pinpointing to a like the targeted customer of theirs. So instead of one person, it is going to be a group of people. So the whole idea is, instead of just like tracking the individual user, they are not going to track the individual user, so that individual user is actually part of a larger group. Now, how it actually works, the algorithm of FLoC. Well, first of all, the browser tracks the user history. Well, the browsing history is kept secret, it is kept private, it is not stored in any server apart from that particular browser of users. Well, after that, browser assigns a unique ID towards the user's behavior to potential type, a group of 1,000 people, we can say. So what do I mean by unique ID? Like the potential type of customer he can be, or the potential type of customer or consumer he can be. After that, provide API for websites to serve relevant ads which are not hyper targeted. Now, of course, we understand, since this is a new technology, you may be confused. So let's try to explain in a very simpler terms how this is going to work out in a way. First of all, let's look into this image. Now we can see these are business people. Now just try to imagine what kind of similarity everyone may have, what kind of a potential type of products or services they may be interested in. Now we are not talking about an individual user here, we're talking about group of people. In the similar sense, you can see a photograph of this sports personnel. Now they are a group of people, but what kind of a products or services they may be interested in purchasing. We are not talking about an individual user, we are talking about group of people. In the next image, again we have a group of people. Potentially these are students, most probably they look like students, they actually are student. Now what kind of a product or services they might be interested in. We again are not talking about an individual user, we are talking about group of people. Well, if you have this answer, if you see this image and if you have the answer, if you see this image, if you have the answer, and if you see this image, if you have the answer, in that case you know how FLoC works. Well, in simple terms, browser will actually assign you a unique ID, which is sort of going to be an identifier, which is going to say, okay, this type of a person is this kind of a consumer, with which websites will use that tracking ID and they will serve you advertisement based on your browsing behavior. Now the biggest thing is, websites cannot pinpoint, they cannot target an individual user. Let's say these group of people are actually looking for further studies, they're looking for further studies. Now I cannot, maybe someone here is actually potentially looking for future studies and he's ready to go for future studies, but still I cannot pinpoint to him. I have to actually serve the ad to all these people. In that case only, if someone is a potential user of mine, potential customer of mine, and if he is interested, then only they will come to my website, then they will only lend to my website. So this is how the whole context of FLoC will work in future, most probably, which is going to get started. Now of course we understand you have some questions. Now even we have some questions. We have actually introduced some FAQs with which we are going to answer your most common questions if you have them right now. The biggest question of all, my bread and butter is retargeting. Will it work? Well, the answer is no, it is not going to work, because your user's behavior is going to sit within the browser. It's not going to be passed anywhere over the internet. It is not going to be saved in the server. So that is going to be a problem. Retargeting is not going to work as per the current information which we have. Retargeting is not going to work. You may have a second question. What about cross-platform? Well, since this whole data is analyzed by the browsing history of an individual user, it is not going to be cross-platform. Like let's say if a user is browsing a website right now on his laptop, and if he switches to mobile phone, it's going to be a total different ballgame. What about compatible browser? Well, this technology, since it is developed by Google, it is going to be integrated only in Google Chrome right now, because other browsers are not at all interested in this technology. And as we said, not all browsers are interested in this technology. What about the industry adoption? Well, if you look for the term FLoC right now, you will see that Brave is blocking Google's FLoC ad tracking technology. DuckDuckGo has highlighted Google's new ad technology method, and they have asked Google Chrome users to block it. So currently FLoC is in a situation where Google is testing it out, and they are planning to phase it into all the users, because right now it is under testing, it is under beta, not everyone is actually using it, and there are other companies which are actually trying to block it because they understand one way or the other it may actually complete the circle and it may actually become something worse than what is already happening right now. So there are some few questions which are around the globe right now, and the answers are stays in the future, because right now even we don't know what will happen. But still, if you still have any questions related to FLoC, what it is, how it will work, and how it will affect your company, or how you can actually prepare your company for this technology, in that case you can reach us out, you can comment down below, or you can book a call with our expert and they will be there to answer all your questions. So with this, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.